beg, take that. Give it to your baby. You are very stupid. You're mad. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Carolyna. You are putting me in now. I don't like it. I would have known, like, why are you coming into my party with so much bad energy? I was supposed don't sweep and come out as they enter with that red bra. Make a kukuma no say na bad energy she carry come.
It's currently midnight and I just finished watching the 11th episode of the Real Housewives of Lagos season 3 and I'm like, hey, these women. What? See, they have touched Diadem and Diadem is exploding. She's exploding. I want to know you guys' thoughts. Do you think Mariam was wrong for calling Carolyna at Diadem's event when Diadem had said she doesn't want to discuss it? And then she did not only call Carolyna, she puts Carolyna's call on speaker. And then Carolyna goes, oh, that one. Hey. See, I feel like what even shocked me the most was the fact that I don't know whose event we're going to see next episode, but Diadem wore a shirt that says the raccoon with a something attitude. And I'm like, hey, Diadem. Share you all ask for drama. Drama is here. Drama is here. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, because Diadem and Mariam, they're still following each other. So it's possible that they were able to resolve things because I really like their friendship. But it's just crazy that them are not understanding each other. I, for one, think Mariam needs to take her own advice. She needs to take some step back away. She needs to take some steps away from this old Diadem and Mariam and Carolyna and Dabota situation. The same thing she's telling Diadem to do. That's what she needs to do. Because why do you come to somebody's event and before you settle in, before you even say a proper hello to the ladies and even get, relaxed and in tune with the activities and whatnot, you're already calling Carolyna. And you know that these people have issues. Yes, Carolyna doesn't have any problem with her. They don't have any problem. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. But like, judging by the event of Ghana and how they lashed out at each other on the table, you leave it as it is. Then maybe after the event, when you're rounding off, you're saying your goodbye, kiss, you're like, baby, calm down now. You not invite Caro, wait, see happen. All this kind of thing. Like, don't take away from my event. And you could see that Diadem was so intentional about them not having conversations surrounding Carolyna at her event. She shut down, Sophia. She shut down Laura. And she did the same to, Mariam. So Mariam now going ahead to even call Caro is like, I know you to upset you, so I will do it regardless. It's her event. I mean, but you guys, let's take it from the top because it's very important that we do. In case you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel. I love that you keep on coming back to check out my videos. Please like this video and subscribe because you know it helps. And in case you're just sharing my voice in my channel, hi, I am Runke. So I talk about new movies, talk about web series and TV shows like this one. And I would really love that you subscribe to the channel. It is absolutely for free. And like this video and leave a comment. Let's chat in the comment section. These women are bringing the drama and it is piping hot. So at the beginning of the episode, we saw that, Sophia was rounding off our Ghana event and they went to this shea butter making activity place where they got accustomed to shea butter, how it's been made from seed to the form that we get to use it. And, a bunch of the women talked about how they use shea butter and all of those things, except Laura, but she says she likes shea butter and whatnot. We saw that they ended the trip and everybody went back to Lagos, and in the next scene we see Caro visits Laura. If you remember at the beginning, Caro and Laura, they were on good terms. They were not on good terms, so Caro didn't have the opportunity to visit Laura's store when she was launching a micro twist, but now she paid like a personal visit to her. It was really good. And then she mentioned that she used to be a makeup artist. She went to London, she learned it, and Laura in her confessional was like, hey, Caro, a makeup artist. I didn't know about that one, no. And they had a good chat. And before we knew it, the whole boat conversation came in again. And I'm just like, are these people allowed this thing raise? This thing happened in what? Episode 2? And we are still talking about episode 3. Like, hey, God, I beg. At this point, I'm exhausted with the whole boat conversation, but it doesn't look like it's going anytime soon. And, Laura was like, oh, that she feels like Carolyna and Diadem should take some time out to get to know each other. She has spoken to Cara and Diadem, and she has told her that Caro hasn't said anything negative about you. Carolyna likes you and whatnot. And she feels that they need to take some time out to personally have a sit down and actually talk. And I also kind of agree with Laurel, because I feel like they're just misunderstanding each other and seeing things from different perspective. But then again, judging by how, you know, Carol doesn't fail to trash talk Diadem with every given opportunity, it makes me feel like, okay, does she really like her, or she likes her when she's being like puppets, or she's being in good terms with her, or I don't know. Like, I feel like if you claim that you like somebody and you really do, you will not talk about them the way Carol has been talking about Diadem. And I don't think Diadem has spoken about Caroline in the same light, in the same way, using the same choices of words. But yeah, I was really hoping that they actually have a sit down. But yeah, when Caroline was in her store with she's trying to set up her store for like the opening of her diffuser store, she calls Diadem, and Diadem, when Diadem saw the call, Diadem was like, why is this person calling me? Of course, this person just lashed about you on the table in Ghana. Like, it would be very like, why are you calling me? What's this all about? But Diadem refused to pick the call, and then she sends Caroline like a long text. And I'm just like, if you're going to take your time to actually send that long message, why don't you just pick the call and get it done and over with? But then again, since it's like a call and it's a conversation, Diadem might possibly say something that she cannot take back. But with text messages, she can always delete, erase, edit, and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe it was like the best option available to her then. In another scene, we see Mariam invite, Dabota for lunch, and Dabota is like, when she sent in the invitation, she's like, okay, what is this gonna be about? They had a sit down and they spoke, and Mariam is like, oh, she's really interested in this whole thing with herself and Caroline, because there were accusations. I mean, what happened? What went wrong? And Dabota is like, she's really confused as to how Caroline just switched and started throwing accusations that, oh, her friend was at her house when she came around, she didn't feel safe, she had to go home to pray. Like, you were cordial, we're good, we're sweet to each other, and then all of a sudden you're bringing up all this false accusation, and it's giving borderline obsession. And she's like, it's even crazy to her, because she had to reach out to this her friend Ehida. Okay, babes, what's up? This is what I've been hearing, this is what's going on. And the woman is pretty much as confused as she is, because Caroline has been communicating with her. Caroline has been making offers to buy her daughter gifts, and Caroline even sent her a bunch of voice notes. Maybe he had like some security issues, and you're telling her to get like a security password, get a Philippine, get this, get a that. So if you're claiming that this woman was taking food from you, this woman took a job from you, and all of those things, how come you guys are having conversations? Like, how are you reaching out to her? How are you sending loves and kisses to her and all of these things? Like, even the person you're fighting with is not even aware that you will have a rift. Like, make it make sense. So it just feels like you're just looking for issues where there isn't any. And of course, the way we were all surprised was this, the way Mariam was surprised. Like, okay, this is new. Like, so what is all of this all about? And Mariam was like, okay, I think that there is more that meets the eye. And I expected Mariam to drop it. Mariam is one now calling both parties differently, having conversations with them. I'm just like, okay, cool. But Mariam also said that when she had a conversation with Carol, she told Carol that the least she should have done when she visited Dabota and saw AE at her place, what she should have done was not to eat the food, since, Dabota wasn't even eating for the food as well. But now, throwing accusations saying she feels poisoned. Like, you shouldn't have ate the food if you didn't feel safe enough to be eating food from that environment or from that kitchen. I think Mariam now suggested to Dabota that she feels like they should have a conversation, but to Dabota was like, that's just very ridiculous. She doesn't think, or she doesn't see herself and Caroline becoming friends ever again. They left that conversation and they talked about Mariam's skin, and Mariam talked about how she's going to be launching her product soon and whatnot. And for the first time in a long time in this series, or on this show, we actually saw like two women eat food, enjoy the food. It just feels like for the first time we are seeing them eat like proper human beings and not fighting and making noise over their meals. But it was good. Next, that we also got to see the women this episode at their businesses. Diadem hosting like influencers for her new toner, sunscreen, and moisturizer thrill sets. We also saw that Caroline at her diffuser store, and we saw Mariam packing up things, making sure like her product was ready for like the product launch, and everything was like packed and ready to go. For Diadem's pajamas party, she looks really good, very regal. She dressed according to the theme. The location was really nice. The decor was so good, looked very aesthetically pleasing. She was in a good mood. She was really excited. She had a lot of activities lined up for the ladies, and Sophia arrived first, and they greeted each other. It was nice, it was cute, and I don't know how Caroline's name came up, and Sophia and Diadem was like, oh, she doesn't even want to talk about it. That, yeah, Sophia reached out to her, but she doesn't want to talk about it. She just wants them to enjoy it. Okay, I think she was asking who she invited. Oh, why are the ladies not here? Who is running late? Who has reached out? And she said she doesn't know about Caroline, if Caroline is going to be here or not. She's like, oh, didn't you invite her? And she's like, oh, Diadem. Then it's like, oh, let's not discuss it. I'm not interested. And, Laura also came in, also asked about the ladies. When it got to Carol, Diadem was like, drop it, let's not discuss it. I don't need that energy. I don't want to talk about it. I want to be in a good mood. And Dabota also arrived. Of course, Dabota wasn't going to ask about Carol. So they kicked off the event. They had the painting session. They had good food. They had drinks. They started painting. It was very fun. It was very funny. It was very light-hearted. Diadem drew Mariam with her 3-tier headgear. Dabota drew Diadem because she's not here for drama. The ladies can misunderstand any painting that she puts together, so she would just rather draw a friend. Sophia didn't draw anybody. She drew a picture of the beach, and Laura drew a picture of a dress that Dabota would wear. It was very cute. It was very hairy. It was very fun, up until Dabota was like, oh, I think they started talking about maybe Carol or something of that sort, and Dabota was like, oh, she needs to go. She would rather be at a very cute, nice, fun date than sit down here and then be talking about Caroline. Like, she doesn't have that time. So just as she was leaving and all of that, Mariam also arrives in this red brown pants. Mariam looking like Mariam would look like, and she had called Diadem ahead saying she was going to be running late. She was heel and she was just going to arrive at the event late. And then when she walked in, she's like, oh, what's up, Alpha? She saw Dabota leaving, and she's like, oh, where's Carol? Didn't you invite her? And Diadem was like, oh, I thought you guys were going to invite her. I was like, Diadem. And Sophia didn't even hide her mouth. Sophia was like, you thought we were going to invite her to your event? And then she's like, oh, that she sent her a message. And before Mariam even arrived, Laura said she had reached out to Carol, and Carol said Diadem was rude to her the previous day. And Diadem was like, how was I rude to her? What does she mean? And all of those things. But that was when, Dabota walked away, like she wasn't going to be interested in that conversation, and she left like she was going to go for a date, right? And said goodbye to the ladies. And so when Mariam now came and was now probing that, oh, where's Carol? She didn't even settle down finish. She didn't even sit down finish. She just grabbed her bag, brought out her phone, and said she was going to call Carol. And Diadem was like, why are you calling her? And then Sophia was like, okay, if you're even going to call her, don't put her on loudspeaker, because things are going to be said, of course. But Mariam was like, no, she's going to take the bull by the horn. Mariam calls Carol, puts it on loudspeaker, and Carol is saying things like, oh, that one, that she was very rude to her, that Diadem was calling her Carol. As in, it was just a lot of, she was just going on, and that obviously triggered Diadem. Like, who is she calling that one? Why are you doing this, Mariam? You don't need to do this now. You've not even vibed with me. We've not said hello. We've not relaxed into the party. You're already calling Carol, who isn't here, and you're at my event, blah, blah, blah. Before we knew it, the whole thing because we know that Diadem, when she's angry, she yells and raises her voice. So it was already noisy. She was shouting at Mariam. Of course, no one wants them to be shouted at. So Mariam too was getting really pissed that, what is this nonsense? You are doing too much. It got so terrible that, Diadem called Mariam stupid, and Sophia was like, oh, don't do that. They threw insult at each other. Oh, you are mad, you are stupid. Even Diadem called her a bully, said, Carolyna and Mariam have been bullying her. They are doing the exact same thing they've been accusing her of, inheriting other people's battle. Mariam had no issue. She had no business with the issue at hand, but she's been the one discussing it, calling for, discussions here and there, doing exactly what she's been accusing her of doing. Mariam is like, oh, Adeola, you're doing too much. You need to pipe down. You need to calm down. You are doing too much. It was bad. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, if friends don't fight, then they are not friends, right? But it was really crazy. But what do you guys think about this? Do you really think Mariam was wrong for calling Carolyna, even putting her on speaker at Diadem's event, when Diadem had said she doesn't want to hear anything concerning Caroline? And one thing that really warmed my heart was when Laura was like, oh, right now, all her concern is that nobody should touch Diadem, because if Diadem says she has been bullied, then she believes that she has been bullied, because she has also gone through that before. So if Diadem says they are bullying her, then she believes her, and nobody should touch Diadem. I'm like, okay, this love that Laura has for Diadem is very strong. Diadem was so pissed. She walked out. Sophia said she feels like that was so unnecessary. She shouldn't have walked out. That left her surprised. You know, Diadem came back into the room, had another face off with Mariam. It was bad. And then Diadem asked the two women, Laurel and, you know, Sophia, good night. Thanks them for coming. Said she was going to go rest. She was tired. She was over it. Gave them their gift boxes. Guys, I want you to know what your thoughts are. Who is at fault? Because, it's crazy. And the fact that in the next episode, Diadem's going to be arriving at the event where Mariam is going to be at with a shirt saying the raccoon with something attitude. Hey, God, Diadem. But let me know what you thought in the comment section. Are you enjoying the season so far? We asked for drama, and drama it is that we are getting. Who do you think was at fault? I feel like both ladies share fault. Mariam, I feel like Diadem could have handled this situation better, even though I feel like she tried to by giving them a heads up that I don't want to discuss Caroline, but like Mariam still went ahead to trigger this babe. But I just feel like Diadem needs to work on people triggering her, and Diadem needs to work on communicating when she's angry. But I feel like Mariam too was wrong. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're yet to subscribe. I love seeing my next video. Please check out my other videos as well. If you're watching Baby Farm, I released a review earlier this morning. Please check it out. And yeah, drop a comment. I love seeing my next review. Until then, make sure to remain happy because you're with yourself. Bye, guys.